Electro and Bono Movie Power Hour. You know what? Where's Hawk at? Listener discretion advised.
Welcome to the Electro and Bono Movie Power Hour. I am Electro, of course.
Yo, what up? This is Bono.
And we are back again with another exciting edition of the Movie Power Hour. And another spooky edition.
Keeping it true. Spooky season, dude.
Oh, yeah. Me and Bono here, we are lovers of film, of course. And our favorite thing to do is talk about these films. Some of our greatest conversations, the deepest thoughts we've had have been sitting here talking about movies. I think that's why we love each other. So we love movies. And we just will sit here and just talk about whether we record a podcast or not. You and me are going to sit down and talk about movies.
Just
might as well record it
and put it out.
Yeah. And like I've said before, the best way to enjoy this podcast is to have already watched the movie, because we are, of course, going to spoil every movie that we talk about.
Every bit of it.
Even, look, we're not even going to tell you. We might discuss the new fucking Joker movie for 2 seconds, and guess what? We'll spoil it, even though it's not even going to be in the description or nothing. So just come prepared to get spoiled here on this podcast. So we do recommend you watch the movies before you listen. But if you're just a savage and you just want to hear some good old takes, and you want to know, if you want to see the film, we're going to tell you. God damn it, we're going to be
just
straight up.
Our opinion. You know, you make your own. Watch it. We could be completely wrong,
but I mean, give us a shot at least.
But we're also right.
Give us the benefit of the doubt that if we don't like it, you probably shouldn't watch it.
I don't need your benefit. No. I just need you to know if the movie's good or not.
So we cover all kinds of movies in this podcast. Movies that are playing right now, some of the old classics, some really bad movies that we love. We love movies of all kinds here at the Movie Power Hour.
Yep.
But like I said, we are in the depths of Hallows Eve. I don't know what day it is right now. It might be Halloween. It might not be. It might be December. Might be Christmas right now.
Right. Which is still a good time.
I love Christmas.
Yeah, to listen to some spooky stuff.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause Christmas is kind of spooky when you think about it.
It's scary. A lot of murders and suicides.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, the holidays can be very sad if you're not, like, with people you love.
Religion heavy. Again, bringing it back to...
The Passion of the Christ. Mel Gibson was all about this. He was an anti-Semite.
He was a patriot.
He was a patriot, and god damn it, was he a good Catholic. But he just had, I mean, whatever. Every man has his faults.
Yeah.
His fault was hating a type of person.
Let's leave Mel alone, okay?
He's alone.
He's coming. No,
he's alone.
He's coming back. I think.
Oh my God! Speaking of Mel fucking Gibson,
go on, please.
Did you see the trailer?
Yes, I did.
That looks so bad.
You really?
I think it looks terrible.
First of all, we'll find out.
What's the name of this movie? Do you remember?
I don't remember the name.
There's a new Mel Gibson movie that he's directing that stars the fucking one and only Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
And as a bald, it just doesn't look believable. I don't know.
What the fuck's the name of that? What was the name, dude?
Fuck me.
And you know what? I was watching that. I'm like, I have to let Electro know that Mel is back. He's coming in swinging, dude.
And who is it? Oh, fuck.
Of course, it's gonna give you his grand work, dude. Look at this
grand work. What Women Want. I watched that in the movie theater thanks to my sister.
Which will be in another episode of the chick flick.
The chick flick extravaganza. Bono will join us eventually.
Yes, I will.
Oh, I'm the Legends of the Fall movie that my sister loves is going to be released on 4K in December, so it might be a nice little Christmas way to wrap up the year. Cool. We'll watch it in 4K.
Nice. Are you going to gift it to her, dude? Or are you going to keep it for yourself? Like, I'm giving this to you, but I'm going to hold on to it.
It's mine. Okay, let's see. Upcoming. The Passion of the Christ Resurrection. dog.
Whoa, chapter 2.
Damn, pre-production.
Wow.
2025. Flight Risk, it is called.
Right.
It looks so bad, dude. What did you watch it? Was it on? When did this trailer come out on?
I think
Was it for Terrifier?
I think it might have been for Terrifier.
Oh, and fucking they dragged poor Topher Grace into this, dude. Fucking Eric from that 70s show.
Right.
And Michelle Dockery. I don't know who that is. Flight Risk. Oh, it looks so bad, dude.
Lionsgate, huh?
I guess Mel really needed some fucking money or
You
something.
think so? So you think he banked out on Wahlberg then? And was like,
Of all fucking people, dude. Hey, do you want to make a successful film, Mel? Don't fucking hire Mark Wahlberg unless it's for Father Stew 2. The father's back in the stew or something like that. You know, they should have a clever name like that.
Think about it, Mel.
Father Stew 2.
Right. Flight Risk is the name of this. Wow.
From the Academy Award winning director of Braveheart and Apocalypto.
Wow.
Comes a fucking bad decision.
Yeah, a tale of a pilot transports an air marshal accompanying a fugitive to trial as they cross the Alaskan wilderness. Tensions soar and trust is tested.
Damn.
As not everyone on board is who they seem.
Plus, they kind of show you the whole movie.
Right.
You know that.
But it's not him, though.
Mark Wahlberg, he's like, hey guys, I'm going to hijack this plane. I am bold. Yeah. Where's Donnie? Where's my brother Donnie? Is he getting swat? Wait, did you hear that my brother Donnie got swat? Donnie got swat. He was a good kid.
There is no escape in the Cessna. They're in like a fucking...
Dude, is this fucking Mark Wahlberg just being like, I would have prevented 9/11? Is that what's happening?
No fucking way.
Because he said that. You know, he said that, right?
He said that?
He's on record saying that if he was on one of those planes, that it wouldn't have gone down that way.
Wow. Wow.
He said that, dude.
Well, look, he has a gun here now, so it looks like he has the upper hand.
Oh, yeah. So they subdue him, and then they don't know how to fly the plane. They're giving away everything that happens in this movie on this fucking trailer. Oh, shit. It started yesterday. It just opened.
Wow. It's made millions already, right?
Is that what it said? It said October? The Passion, the Resurrection.
Wow.
There's nothing here.
No.
The trailer said October, but did it get pushed back? I don't know. Anyway, the First Omen. We're back with our devil.
Well, that's what happens. We're talking about some godly, religious stuff going on here.
Yeah, and, you know, Mel is a very religious man, so that's how we're going to tie it into this. He probably loved the First Omen.
Yeah.
We're keeping the devil theme going here for All Hallows Eve. And we are talking about The First Omen, a prequel to the classic, like 1970s, late 70s movie? I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
But The First Omen, a woman starts to question her own faith when she uncovers a terrifying conspiracy to bring about the birth of evil incarnate in Rome.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that sets this one apart from Immaculate is that in this one, this is clearly the Antichrist, and in Immaculate, it's like they're trying to make a new little Christ, right? They're trying to bring JC back.
Yep.
But in this one, it's just as good as good old fucking religious conspiracies go. Like, this one goes to the top, bro. This is up there in the Vatican.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Pope fucking waved this one off. You know?
Signed off on it.
Yeah. This movie is directed by Arkasha Stevenson, female director, which I think is very important to some of the things that happen in this movie, because I think they're from a very female perspective. This movie makes giving birth seem like it is a hellish ordeal. You know, maybe that is something director's trying to convey, like, you know, like, hey man, you don't know what the fuck it's like to give birth to a child. It's pretty fucked.
Right. Yeah, just like Immaculate, right? I mean, with the whole impromptu C-section and then everything else, it just shows you a horrifying side of that, you know, whether it's
there's some gnarly
demonic
stuff.
or not.
There's some gnarly stuff in this. We're gonna get to it.
Okay.
So the First Omen, cocksucker. Where's the release date? The First Omen was released April 5th. It has a 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb, 82% Rotten Tomatoes, 70% audience score. We have a budget of 30 million. So out of the movies we've been talking about, this one actually has a pretty decent budget. And you can tell.
Right.
Because, I mean, Immaculate looks good, but, yeah, I mean, you could tell. It's a pretty small movie. It takes place, like, in one spot and, like, in the country and shit. The Late Night with the Devil also seemed very... Like, it's all in one set.
One room, yeah.
Like, you know.
Literally on a set, yeah.
Yeah, it could be. It's a very practical way to shoot a cheap movie.
Right.
This one is grander. You see the city. You see the landscape of where our main character is. You're more in the world, I feel. Like, it's more grounded because... It's not like you're in this isolated little, like, situation where the devil is there. It's like, no, man, the devil's
all around
in fucking Rome, buddy. And he's trying. He's waiting for you to slip.
Yep.
Margaret. So yeah, very beautiful landscape. Also, at the same time, makes you maybe want to go to Rome, and also makes you not want to go to Rome. What are they up to?
I do want to go to Rome.
What are they up to, Bono?
I don't know. I want to find out, though.
I'm scared.
I want to find out.
I don't think you do. Have you seen this film?
I want to see some stuff, you know?
All right. All right. That's a slippery slope, Bono. 30 mil this movie cost to make. Opening weekend, it made 8.5.
Not good.
Gross US and Canada, 20 mil. Worldwide, 53.8. Runtime of 1 hour 59 minutes. A little long. I didn't mind it.
Yeah,
I didn't mind it.
Didn't seem that way, though. Yeah.
It was good. This movie starts the weirdest fucking name I've ever seen. Nell Tiger Free as Margaret. That's a person's name.
Yeah.
Nell Tiger Free. You think that's cool?
No, I don't think that's cool.
All right. Ralph Innocent. I don't know. I'm bad with names. As Father Brennan. Sonia Braga as Sister Sylvia. Maria Caballero as Luz. Okay. Bill Nye, my fucking boy, Sean's dad, is there as Cardinal Lawrence.
Yep.
Andrea Arcangeli. Arcangeli as Paolo. And my boy himself, Charles Dance, as Father Harris. This movie starts off with Charles Dance, the gentleman. Of course, we've seen him as William Randall Hearst. He plays William Randall Hearst in Mank. And he's, of course, the bad guy in Last Action Hero. And, you know, we love that film. I love that film. And he's in Alien 3, of course. He banged Sigourney, banged Ripley, got one in there.
Yep.
Got one in there, and then he got killed right after.
Well, that's the way to do it.
It's much like the praying mantis.
Yeah.
A little bit of a animal metaphor. I don't know if you guys caught that.
Is that what Alien 3 was? Wow.
Yeah, dude. Come on. Open your fucking eyes.
God damn it. Nature.
This movie starts with Charles Dance talking to Father Brennan, And Father Brennan, he's the guy from The Witch. He has this fucking deep voice. He's got one of the great fucking voices.
Yeah.
In The Witch, that's one of the things that makes that movie so scary to me. Some of the his deep fucking voice, and then when he's saying some crazy stuff in that movie, I'm like, fuck, this guy's crazy.
Right.
So it's good to have him here. He's been in some horror movies. He was in that movie The Boy, which, I mean, the movie's not that great, but I think he's a pretty damn good actor. He's good in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So him and fucking Charles Dance, they're having a little fucking talk, and I don't know, I think it's Antichrist related. I think they're looking into, I think it was a certain day, I think the baby was supposed to be born or something. Maybe Charles Dance knew, or it had already been born, and he kind of alludes to the fact that it has happened. And Father Brennan is like, oh, what? Like, tell me, like, I need to know, or what he wants to know.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is like a callback to the original Omen, where there's a little spoilers for the Omen. There's a pretty gnarly priest death in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a bit of an homage to that, where he just kind of revealed the existence of the Antichrist, and then a giant piece of stained glass breaks and falls down on them.
Impales them, yeah.
And it cuts off. So, like, at first it seems like nobody got hurt, and Charles Dance is just, like, staring at Father Brennan. And he's like, are you okay? And then he's just staring at him, and then he smiles. He gives this, like, really creepy smile, and then you see that his mouth starts bleeding, and then the camera whips around, and you see that, like, a big chunk of the back of his head was just, like, cut off by a big piece of glass.
Yep.
And he just dies. And then that's how the movie starts. That's the tone. And I like it, because it's a really creepy sight seeing, like, you kind of know what probably just happened, and then the guy's just, like, staring, and then just gives a bloody smile right before he dies.
Right.
As he just found out about the Antichrist.
Talk about a sign.
That's fucking terrifying. Are you kidding me?
What was the image in the stained glass, though?
I don't know.
That'd be good to know, man.
Well, shit. Thanks for pointing out what a shitty podcast we're running.
No, but you know, people don't pay attention.
Should've looked into it.
That's also part of this thing that we're talking about. Again, you know, the casual viewer not giving a fuck about that at all.
About stained glass windows.
Exactly.
I'm sick of it.
Yeah, I'm sick. Whoa, his head's cut off. Yeah, but what's the real deal?
What's the real reason?
Duh.
But why are we here?
Yeah.
Did you even stop to think about that?
In the middle of this movie, you just stop.
Why am I here? Yeah, that's how this movie starts. You watched the original Omen finally? Right?
Yeah, so I watched that one, and then I saw the remake, and then I saw this one.
Did you watch the other two first? You came in geared, or you watched this one first?
No, I didn't watch this one. This one was the third one. So at first was unfortunately the
you watched the remake first?
Yes.
Ah, what a shame.
I know, it was pretty bad. It still had its things too. I mean,
they're good actors.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I haven't seen it since it came out.
It's not good either, you know?
Yeah.
But I get it. I get it. All the little things still worked. Like, my girl still reacted to them and stuff like that, you know? And then they're not, like, scary. These movies aren't, I mean, they're scary. Are you afraid of this?
Well, if you remember our very first Devil episode, I did mention The Omen, and I watched this movie at home alone when I was like 13 or 14 years old. At home alone at night, this movie got me for sure.
Right.
And again, it all comes down to the religious thing. Like, I think these movies are more scary if you're at least like have a knowledge.
Fury.
Yeah. Or at one, I'm not anymore, but I was for a lot of my life. You know, I was raised this way. So there is like just a memory in there, or a reflex, you know, when you come across these things, you know. It's like defense thing even that pops up. Even though I'm like, I've let all that shit go. And when I'm around it, it's like very like, just like yesterday or something, you know? So yeah, that first one creeped me out, especially the way it ends, like in the church. Spoilers for the Omen. In the church, where this guy finally is just like, okay, he's the Antichrist, and I had to fucking stab him to death with this fucking dagger in the altar of God, you know? Very dramatic.
Very. And
then he gets shot down, and then as the little kid is begging him not to, he's like, no, daddy, no, and shit, right? And he's just like, I gotta do it. And then he gets blasted, and then the fucking president, whatever, takes little Damien, and then it has that like really eerie fucking score. That's what makes the movie scarier, the eerie score. So you're left with that eerie score, and then that fucking passage from the Bible about the Antichrist. It says like, go something along he is a man and he has a number, and that number is 666 or whatever. Right. It ends with that creepy ass music. As I was sitting alone in my living room, like I remember that gave me like the fucking chills, dude. I was like, oh my, I'm alone. Right. I'm all alone here. This is the Antichrist among us. Fuck. I think he is, by the way, and his name is Elon Musk. And
you think so? No.
I do. No. I legitimately, Bono, think that Elon Musk will end the human race.
No, man.
I think he will. He's opening Pandora's box. He's the Antichrist. Let's move on.
He's doing iRobot. You know what I'm saying?
The Antichrist, buddy. Of course, the fucking Antichrist would bring about iRobot.
Right.
Come on, think about it.
But bots have rights. So.
Well, yeah, that's what that whole movie was about.
Exactly.
The laws of robotics, of course.
Right.
I'm not an idiot.
Robo-law.
Yeah.
Duh.
You seen RoboCop? He had directives, idiot.
Ultimately, that's what we're going towards.
Watch RoboCop, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what do you think of The Omen? Like, you weren't scared by it?
No, not really. Honestly, not even with the remake, and not even with this one.
This one was
suspenseful. You know what I mean?
There was one part in this movie that legit was scary to me.
Oh, what part
I was scared.
Which one?
Jumping ahead.
Let's go in. Let's go.
There's a part where this Margaret, she goes much like Sweeney in the other movie. They just bring these white girls in, and she's known Sean's dad for like ever, right? And she's just been this goody little virgin, I'm assuming,
right?
And she gets brought in. She already knows him. He's like, oh, welcome, blah blah blah. And then she has a roommate. She's fucking living in a fucking gorgeous fucking place. She just fucking got it made. And then the conspiracy starts to come to light, and she's not trusting, and the devil. Anyways, so there's a part where they lock her into this room because there's this little girl who's like Samara or something, the little evil girl in the movie.
Right.
And they lock her in this dark room, and then so Margaret's like, this is fucked up. You guys are like treating this little girl very poorly. Yeah. And then at one point she gets thrown into that room, and it's all in the dark, and she's begging to be let out, and then she like curls on the side of the bed or something. And earlier in the movie, a nun hung herself on fire.
Yeah.
So I think it's her. So she's just like staring at the black wall, and she's just like staring, and you're just looking at this black wall.
Right.
And then you start to see like there's a curled up burnt person like right there, and then she slowly starts to get up and then comes to the screen. In the movie theater, that shit was like fucking scary to me. I was like, fuck, that was good, man.
It is pretty terrifying. Yes, I agree.
That's worst case, Bono. If you're in your dark room and you look at the other side and there's a burnt curled up girl,
yeah,
no good.
Coming at you, kind of slowly. It is scary.
And she was like laughing and shit too.
Yeah.
Like teasing her.
But I didn't necessarily feel like, oh fuck. I was just kind of like, that's a good shot. It's a really good shot. Good framework. Because it also triggers that in you, right? Because how many times have you not stared at something blank and your mind can just project anything it wants?
Absolutely.
So
it's a very relatable thing. And if that came out of it, oh no.
Yeah. That was her mind. That was what's going on in her mind.
Yeah. Anyway, so Margaret gets put into this convent like thing, just like Sweeney did.
Right.
And again, she has this hot roommate. The hot roommate's like, let's go out. Maybe we'll get fucked before we become nuns,
A whorish nun.
Yeah. And then Margaret's kind of like, I don't know, bro. Like, and I think she's already like seeing nun ghosts or something, isn't she? There's a part because she gets to that apartment that she's staying in, and I feel like at certain points there's just like nuns standing behind her, unless I'm confusing it with a mech.
You might be confusing that.
I'm pretty sure that there's like a shot from like remember Dead Silence where she's sitting on a chair behind the curtain and the curtain's kind of moving. You can kind of see. I feel like there's a similar shot to that in the First Omen with a nun.
There might be.
And then she turns around and it's like her nun outfit is hung on the wall.
Oh yeah.
But
the mind playing tricks is what's going on.
Of course.
But it's really
all practical.
The devil. But you're right. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so there's already like some creepy shit about it right off the bat. She gets there. There's nuns looming, and she's a nun.
Right.
And then, so they go out. She convinces her, let's go find some dick. They go. She's not sure about it, but she still dresses quite provocatively. And they go out and they meet a couple of fellas.
Right.
Who are buying them drinks. And then Margaret kind of starts hitting it off with this one guy, and the other one goes off with the friend, probably blows him. I don't know.
Right.
I hope so. But anyway, so then it seems like Margaret gets drunk with this guy and then just wakes up in her bed the next morning without knowing what the fuck happened.
Right.
Great shot of her just like laying there. Her hair's like all fucked up, like she was just in a 10-person gangbang. Right. Like she just
real worn out.
She got tossed around.
Right.
And she looks dehydrated. Yeah. And her hair's just all over the place. This movie had a fantastic trailer. Do you remember that trailer?
No.
The trailer all ran in reverse. It was parts of the movie all in reverse. And I think it starts off with that shot of her, like, with her hair all fucking out. Because she has really long hair.
As they're going up the stairs and it's in... Yeah.
So that whole trailer's, like, in reverse with, like, a really cool, like, creepy score.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, like, there's some really good creative images in this film. Like, that girl that comes out of the wall. Like, that was, like you said, that was a hell of a shot. Right. That looks good.
Right.
And there's a lot of examples of that in this movie where you're like, damn, the movie just looks good. You see
the production.
You see where the 30 mil come in.
Yeah.
And then whatever, so I don't know. She goes and nuns for a little bit. I can't remember. It's been a while since I saw this movie. But then I think Father Brennan fucking seeks her out and is kind of like, hey, you need to talk to me. There's some fucking shady shit going on in there.
Mm-hmm.
These nuns are not fucking cool.
Mm-mm.
And then they find Samara. She's like, they're treating this little girl all wrong.
Right.
She's possessed. Like, they're treating her like lower, right? None of the kids like her. They just isolate her.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's, maybe because she's the Antichrist or something, I don't know. You're going to want to isolate them.
Right. Be careful.
And so... she starts to feel like bad for this kid, and also is having like already like I've been dicked down by the devil visions, of course.
Right.
They're gonna come after the devil, maybe dicked you down.
Yeah. Spiritually?
Yeah. I think what happens is she has like this weird dream or like a fever dream after she's talking to that guy. There's a part where I don't know if it's there or in the beginning of the movie. I think it's the beginning of the movie. They have the pregnancy. Somebody's giving birth, and they put like a black mask over the person that's pregnant,
right?
And you're just seeing the mouth and the blackness of the face panicking under them, breathing all heavily,
right?
Which is just, it makes it that much worse. Like they're torturing her as she's fucking giving birth to the devil,
right?
And she starts having visions of that too, of that shit being put on there. And then I think she even has the vision of the fucking of the jackal, right? She might even see the jackal himself. And then wakes up. Like I said, she felt like she's been banged by at least 10 men.
At least.
The strength of 10 men at least.
For sure.
Test it again. 10 men. You must have caught me on the low day.
Don't go insulting him. No.
So she starts having these. There's like the part too where there's like a little riot going on, like because I don't know what they're rioting. I don't know what's going on over there in Rome. They're rioting.
I forget what the fuck
there's like some revolution or some shit going on in Rome.
In the world, man, there's just a bunch of that. It's a spiritual war, dude.
Yeah, and I think it was a lot of religious stuff. I think they even warned her too. Like there's like the city's kind of like in not great standing or whatever, and specifically they're not happy with the church right now. They're like, if they see you could be like harassed or something,
right?
You know?
Right.
So then this shit breaks out, and she starts seeing like a little demon hand, like in the crowd or something, or starts seeing a little demon. And then also she, like when she gets there, she sees like one of those like beds where they put pregnant ladies that has like the holders for like the feet or whatever.
Right.
I don't know what those things are called.
I don't know either, dude.
Fucking birthing tables or something.
Sure. That's a good guess.
And so she sees one of those, and then at one point she sees somebody like giving birth on it. And this is the craziest shot of the film, and I couldn't believe that it was in a movie theater.
Right.
That, you know, was relative. I think it was pretty filled up room. I watched it opening weekend.
Yeah.
And you're seeing this woman give birth. She's giving birth. She's in a lot of pain, and then all of a sudden starts like laughing,
right, and
smiling, and then making eye contact with Margaret.
Right.
And then she's like laughing, and then they show the vagina, and it like starts crowding, and you can't quite see what's coming out of it or whatever. And then you just see a fucking hand slowly, a demon hand with long ass fingers,
right,
black,
right,
fucking just come out of her pussy. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, first of all, awesome.
Right.
Great shit.
It's on screen.
Yeah, and it looks fucking like, it's so disturbing, and it feels weird to say it looks good.
Right.
It looks good, and it looks horrifying.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's like a big, I don't know if it is or not, but I see it as like a big metaphor of like, dude, like giving birth is a fucking
brutal.
Yeah, and it could feel like a fucking monster is coming out of you or something.
And I've seen
and you'll be crying and laughing at the same time.
right.
From joy.
From some crazy stuff.
So yeah, real cool stuff, real slick.
Real clever stuff.
So I think Father Brennan finally comes up to her and he's just like, dude, you need to come and meet me at this room. And here's the deal. The people that you are taking care of you have been trying to, or have created the Antichrist. And he has all these files and stuff. So they start to kind of try to get to the bottom of it.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, this bitch is just going crazy, hallucinating, and all this stuff, trying to save little Samara from falling into the well, of course.
Right. Important stuff.
Yeah, and you know, it kind of goes off how you would expect. If you've seen The Omen,
right,
you kind of know that little girl can't be the Antichrist.
Nope.
You would guess, right? You're gonna see this movie. You've seen The Omen, that she's the one that's gonna give birth to Damien, right?
But it's also like, again, it's reintroducing the franchise, and that's what we've been talking about with all these other movies coming up. It's like a reintroduction, even though it's a prequel. And then once you do watch this high production valued movie, first of all, that girl like is known from the Apple fucking show Servant, Leanne.
I don't know about that show.
Sydney Sweeney's another one that, I mean, even though she had auditioned for that role way before, she's recognizable, and she's doing it. Like these.
She was in Madam Web.
Yeah,
everybody watched.
You watched that one, huh?
No,
you didn't.
No, I was gonna give it a shot because it was on Netflix.
Uh-huh.
So it was like I was gonna give it a shot, see how bad it was, but never went through with it.
Right.
I think I watched 2 minutes of it, and I was like, okay,
2 minutes,
maybe.
Huh? Wow.
And then I was like, I'm gonna come back to this, and I just never went back to it. You watched it?
No.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, like, they're putting themselves in these positions with these movies. And I think this in particular, obviously, Immaculate is really extreme. But The Omen, again, it's a franchise. You got to follow the steps, right? Like, it's almost like beat for beat,
The original Omen is considered like one of the classics of horror. It's a very effective movie. So prequels to classics have a bad track record.
Mm-hmm.
How many have they tried to do recently? They're not. This one is smart, as in it's basically a remake because it follows kind of beat for beat what happens in the first movie,
right?
But it's also an origin story, so it's kind of like things repeat themselves or something, or I don't know. The devil.
I just feel like
the greatest trick the devil ever pulled.
Yeah, but he's essentially doing the same tricks,
Was how does that saying go? Was convincing the world he wasn't real.
Oh,
that's scary.
No, where's that from though?
I don't fucking know.
No,
it's a very, I don't know. I think it might be a religious saying.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, it's in a lot of movies.
Okay.
I know that the classic Constantine
had
a great one.
Let's hear it.
He
believes in you.
Yeah, he's like, I don't believe in the devil. Well, he believes in you. He believes in you. I'm thinking I'm back.
Yes. We need to do a Constantine episode.
We should.
We're keeping
next Halloween.
Okay, yeah, devilish. Some devil stuff. Angels.
I cry, but when angels deserve to die. Yeah, so shit's going down, obviously. And then she runs into that guy who she thought she had a one night stand with, right? And out on the street.
Right.
And he sees her and he's like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, dude, did you like fucking rape me, drug me, or whatever?
Right. Then you and 9 guys fucking run train. Because that's how I felt.
It's just, I mean, if it happened, it's cool. I just wanted to know. I just need to know.
I'm about to be a nun. So
I'm going to be absolved of this shit anyway.
I needed the proper prayer. So I need to know the details.
I don't want to go to hell.
That's all she wanted. That's all she wanted to know.
So she's like, hey, what the fuck, homie? And then he was just like, dude, like, fucking stay away from me, bro. Like, you can tell he's scared of her. And then you start getting, I think, flashbacks of it. And then you basically see that homie got, like, cucked, kind of, or he was, like, a pawn.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to stand there and, like, be witness.
Right.
To what she thought was a dream, where her fucking face was fucking, like, waterboarded, basically, as the fucking jackal. Because I think you even started to see like the little jackal hands like go up her body or like touching. She has visions of it like running its hands through her skin and shit.
Right.
That's some fucked up shit. Imagine Jackal looks like a fucking fox or something, right?
Yeah, Jackal's like a it's like a goat mixed with a dog. It's like a half furry, half demon looking thing.
And going back to the original, that was something about it that scared me. That like the priest tells him that it was not born of a woman or whatever. It's like it's the son of its mother is a jackal.
Yeah.
And then when he digs up the grave and finds the jackal, that scared me, dude. Like it's not scary to look at, but the thought behind it, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, and you hear it, you're like, a jackal? You're fucking stupid. How is that? Fuck. It's in the grave.
That first one's so dark too, because then also he finds the body of his dead child that they fucking apparently like put a hole in his little skull.
Yeah. Here you go.
That's so dark.
Yeah, why? We don't need two graves. Put them together. It's pretty bad.
Oh, that's missed shit, dude.
Yeah.
When you find out that since your child was born, you were chosen to care for the Antichrist, and we murdered your baby the like minute he was born.
Right.
And you've been raising the Antichrist.
Brutal.
No.
Very brutal.
No way. Anyways, turns out that the little Tamara girl was not the Antichrist, but she was like an Antichrist, like chosen. Like she had the mark, so they find out that they all have the mark. You find that out in the Omen. Damien has a little 666 on him.
The 666.
Yeah. And then so the little girl has that mark, so then that's why she assumes that she's the one.
Right.
But then eventually the Shyamalan twist comes along.
Little twist.
That basically Margaret was like born, chosen to be the mother.
Right.
And she has the mark in her too. Some shenanigans go down, and then there's a great scene because they're trying to go get her an abortion, right? Because the pregnancy's going by quick. All of a sudden, she's like showing, and it's only been like days or something.
Right. So
then the priest is like, "Fuck it, we're gonna go get you an abortion like right now or something." I know a guy. I got a guy.
Got a guy. Got an abortion guy.
And then they crash into them. They've been following them, and then they like take her, and then. Well, actually, I don't think they take her. They take the priest, and they leave her there. And then she gets out, and it has one of the great, like, being possessed scenes. She comes out, and she just looks horrible, and she starts getting possessed, and and it looks, like, very painful and shit. And she does a really good job. She finds out that fucking Sean's dad, again, fucking orchestrated the whole fucking thing.
Right.
They take her down to the fucking basement where she's going to have a C-section too, right? She has a C-section?
I believe so.
I think they cut it out of her. And,
yeah, because they already showed you the goods earlier, you know? Like, we already gave them the scene. We don't need a second run it.
Mm-hmm. And, like, her roommate, you find out, was, like, in on it too. Right. Basically, everybody was in on it.
Yeah, they were coursing this girl to...
Yeah.
Almost voluntarily be like, yeah, I'm down.
And then then she sees the jackal. They have the jackal there. The jackal's also like watching all this. And so the baby's born, and then she asks to hold it and stuff. And Sean's dad's like, all right, like, you know, it's his mother. Like, let her hold him. And the whole time she had like a scalpel or something kind of tucked, and then fucking... She gets Sean's dad. He dies the same way he died in Shaun of the Dead. Really, a wound to the neck. Mm-hmm. And then everyone's like, no, blah, blah. And then I think, well, like her roommate, there's a clear betrayal by her roommate who kind of seemed like she was her only friend. And then I think she like stabs her or something. And she was like, I was in on it, bitch.
Right.
Like,
I'm not just a whore. I'm helping with this elaborate scheme here.
Yeah, and then I don't know how. what happens. They set the place on fire, and they leave her to die with the little girl. They take little Damien. But then I think the priest comes, Father Brennan comes and like maybe saves them or some shit. Mm-hmm. And so they like go off and they live in like this isolated house where she's raising little Samara, of course.
Right.
And then the priest shows up and he's just like I found you or whatever. Like also I think tells him like, you know, they could probably find you too or some shit like that. Right. And she's just like pointing a gun at him. She's like, get the fuck out of here. And then he tells him like they gave it a name. And it's like, it's Damien in the movie. It's pretty sick. Oh, and also before that, they tie it into the first one like really perfectly. As soon as it's born, they literally show them take the baby to the hospital and do the switch. Right. Where you know that they're going to go kill that other baby soon. Right. And then like they have the files like, oh, these are the parents, and they have the pictures of the guy from the first movie. Like I thought that was really so cool. Yeah. I was like, damn, this is tying directly into it. Right. And see, to those who don't know or are casually watching The Omen for the first time and see that, they're like, well, those are going to be the parents. But they say, oh no, there's more. Great surprise. Yeah. That's the importance of these films. We need The Omen to be constantly being thrown at us, all right? Yeah, it was really good, man. Like I said, when they usually do a remake or a prequel to a fucking classic, it's like, these are not going to be good. This one was good, and it was done by a very good filmmaker. The movie looks great. It's well acted. Some really cool stuff you've never seen in a movie before. I've never seen a demon hand come out of a pussy. You got to give it to him. Yeah. You gotta give it to It was given, man. There's a implied train scene. Like there's some good stuff. Yeah. It's definitely going for it. It's gone, man. Buddy. Yeah. This movie opened number 3 at the box office. Nice. Number 1 this week was Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. Made 31 million. 31. Monkey Man made 10 million. Did you watch that? No. Okay. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire still in there at number 3, made 9 million. The Omen opens number 4 to 8.3 million, and Kung Fu Panda is right there at number 5. Brought in another 7 million. Also in there you got Dune 2. Immaculate's hanging in there at number 9. And made 1.3 million that weekend. And Late Night with the Devil's right there at number 11. Right. Making $1 million. So these were all in theaters at the same time. Pretty cool. I remember watching all these movies like really close to each other. And that's why I told you. Ever since then, I wanted to do like an episode covering all these films. So I was like, dude, the devil's in the movie theater this week. Like his presence felt for sure. But I thought it would be some good Halloween episodes. That's true. Speaking of the devil, really quickly, not so much devil in this one, but still. We're talking Maxxine here. Right. Dude, when did Maxxine come out? Was that May? Maxxine came out in July. See, even more. Like, it goes July 5th. It goes to add like these female roles, or these girls are really going for it, dude. Yeah. In 1980s Hollywood, adult film star and aspiring actress Maxine Minks finally gets her big break. But as a mysterious killer stalks the starlets of Hollywood, a trail of blood threatens to reveal her sinister past. Wow. Hell yeah. Written and directed by Ty West, of course. It was released July 5th. IMDb 6.3 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes 72%. Audience score 77. Nice. Maxxine had a budget of $1 million. Wow. Very good. Opening weekend made 6.7. U.S. and Canada 15. Worldwide 22. It's around there with what Late Night with the Devil and Immaculate made. They all were in the 20s, I think. Mm-hmm. It's a runtime of an hour and 43 minutes. Not too bad.
No.
So I watched this again last night. It stars Mia Goth, of course.
Right.
It has a really good cast of like pretty known people too, which is surprising. You get Elizabeth Debicki as Elizabeth Bender, who is the chick from Tenet. She was in Tenet, and she's been in other stuff. That's not the only thing I know her from, but it's the only thing I can think of right now. Fucking name right here.
Giancarlo
Esposito. As Teddy Knight, her agent. This guy's good.
Yeah, he's good.
Moses Sumney as Leon, her black best friend who works at like a video store.
Yep.
Kevin Bacon.
Oh, yeah.
Back to his roots as John Labatt.
Great guy.
He is. I don't think anybody plays a scumbag quite like fucking Kevin Bacon. He's good at it. He's playing some of the best scumbags on film.
He's a little scummy. A little extra scummy on this one, too.
Well, he has a good accent.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think the accent sells the scumness.
He's just a slimy dude.
Yeah. The oversized suit and everything. It was good.
I loved it. Michelle Monaghan as Detective Williams. Bobby Cannavale as Detective Torres. And Simon Prast as Ernest Miller, her father. So I watched this movie last night, and well, when it comes to the trilogy, I don't know about you, I think Pearl's probably the better one, right? Like, I think I like this one number 2, and then X. I don't know what about you?
I would say Pearl for sure. I did watch Pearl more than once, though. I've only seen X and MaXXine once.
Right.
So I haven't given them the go again, but I would say it'd be Pearl, MaXXine, then X as well.
Right. I just watched it last night because it just came out on HBO Max.
Oh, okay.
So it was there. I'm over here taking notes for the episode, and I was like, let me throw this on, get a little refresher on MaXXine. I love, although it's not my favorite, and like Lil was telling me that she was like pretty disappointed by this movie. Like, I actually thought it was like the perfect third movie to this series,
right?
Because they're all pretty different from each other, which I think is fucking awesome, you know?
Right.
The first one is like your standard fucking slasher film, you know, like it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre basically, and that's the classic one. And then the second one you get like a more unique, still a little Texas Chainsaw Massacre-y, but more you get into the psyche of the fucking killer, and you maybe feel some sympathy, maybe whatever, you know. And Mia Goth acts the shit out of it, and so like that's great. But then the third one is like a completely different tone too, like. The way it's shot too, it makes it look like this grainy fucking like 80s, like something you're watching like on VHS or something from that time. The music that's used in the film, like it has like a really like 80s rock fucking soundtrack to it. That really like brings forward like the feeling that you're like in the fucking 80s.
Yeah, the cocaine driven Hollywood Hills.
Fucking MaXXine is just blowing lines left and right.
Blowing lines, blowing guys, doing her thing.
Living her life, goddamn.
Yeah.
And the movie starts off with her going to an audition to be in a real movie, not a porno.
Right.
Not one of those porno films.
Not one of those porno fuck films.
And she does a monologue, which is like reminiscent of her monologue from Pearl, but like not as good or as long. But she does it like a really nice little monologue as a character, but it also kind of reflects on her, right? It's like, you know, oh, you gotta rise or blah, 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 whatever, right?
Right.
And she does a really good scene, and then so you're right away reminded, damn, Mia Goth is fucking good.
Right.
And then she leaves the audition, and there's a big old line of people right there, and she's just like, y'all might as well go home because I just fucking nailed that shit. And then like immediately you get like the tone of the movie, like that was funny. She is just like walking on cloud nine with confidence on like her talent and what she's gonna do with her life. Like, it's still weird. Pearl is kind of the standout. Like, the fact that she plays Pearl, who is not really related to her, but for some reason they're the same actress, you know?
Right.
That's what's kind of weird, because you kind of associate that character with Maxxine, but it's not her.
Right.
You have to be thinking that's the fucking chick from part one.
Right.
So she's incredibly confident. And then she, like, there's not a point in this movie where she even is like that scared. She is confident that she can fucking,
right.
Like, if something goes
get
down,
out of the situation.
She's like, bitch, I've already survived the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, I'm good.
I did like during that audition scene too, where she's like, aren't you the porn star? You know, aren't you the one doing adult films? Mm-hmm. Like, well, yeah, I'm just not going to show my tits, right? And they're like, do you mind showing your tits? It cuts out and shit. And
a little disappointing.
Yes, it was. It hurt. It hurt. And I was like, you're already going all the way.
They tease it. They go back to it later. Mm-hmm. And you're like, all right, you can put them away now. And you're like, oh, they're finally going to show them. And then they show, and she already put them away. And you're like, what's going on here? What happened to the Days of X where Mia Goth was naked throughout the whole fucking movie?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he's evolving as a director.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow. Is that they got enough of that? Well, no.
No, we didn't.
No, Ty.
Yeah. So then you find out that she has a best friend that works at a video store, and she goes and tells him, dude, I just got this audition.
Right.
Like, I fucking nailed it. She's going to be in this sequel to this movie called The Puritan. So they throw it on in this video store. And you see, I think he's gay.
Right.
So
be careful, though.
I think he's gay, and that's why they're best friends. He says it at one point. She's like, yeah, I'm your best friend because I'm the only guy that's not trying to fuck you.
Right.
So she feels like really comfortable with him, goes there, like falls asleep in his arms while they watch scary movies and shit.
Right.
And then, so her best friend is established. And then you see that she's still making porn. Right after that audition, she goes to a set where you meet another porn star. And then you meet like a stripper that I think she dances too. Mm-hmm. So you meet these girls, and then these girls get fucking serial killed.
Right.
And in the background, they're also talking about the Night Stalker too. That all that shit's going on right now
at the same time. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then, like, the movie itself is just also like a really big love letter to filmmaking and horror movies, and because she gets to the film, and a lot of the movie takes place in the Universal backlot. There's a great scene where Kevin Bacon's chasing her through, like, if you've ever been to Universal Studios where you're going to the backlot and seeing all the buildings and stuff.
Hey, man, we need to do a Universal thing.
Absolutely.
Bro. What the fuck, bro? I've never been there for the Halloween. You know how dope that would be?
It's a little, unless we go fucking next week, it's a little late.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like,
I would be scared, goddamn it. I would be on edge.
Yeah, well, sometimes we need to do that to ourselves, okay? Let's scare ourselves. Jaws ain't cutting it right now.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, it does, but you know.
What the hell did you just say? Get the fuck out.
What else do you want?
What else could you possibly want? Norman Bates chases after you?
That is good.
Anyway, so there's a fun little foot chase around the back lot where they're going from house to house or whatever. And it ends with her running into the psycho house and shit, which is just like
really dope.
It's fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
So it's like a big homage. It also reminded me of Scream 3, which also takes place like kind of in a Hollywood behind the scenes kind of thing.
You're right.
Like,
wow, I need to watch Scream 3.
Do it, dude. Do the Screams.
Wow.
It's Halloween.
It is
time.
Halloween. You're right.
Do the screams. So yeah, whoever the hell this serial killer is starts targeting her friends. So she takes out one of the porn stars, and she takes out the strip. She's not like exactly a stripper. She works at the behind the glass where a dude goes into a room and you like dance for them behind glass.
Right.
And this dude with all you see is that he has black leather gloves and like a hat, maybe a trench coat. You never see who it is, but he's going around fucking icing these bitches.
Yeah, you don't know who it is, man. It could be anyone.
Yeah. She starts making this movie, The Puritan 2, and she makes friends with one of the actresses, and then that actress gets fucking killed next. And they all keep saying they're all going to a party in the hills.
In the hills, exactly.
Yeah. And then the last straw for her is they kill her fucking gay best friend.
Right.
In a very cool stabbing scene. Like, it was very stylized and brutal.
Yeah.
Like, the guy sneaks up behind him and just slices the back of his neck. And the way that it's shot, it's like you see the meat. Like when you cut into a piece of meat, and you don't cut all the way through it. Like, you just cut like deep in there.
You
like
see the split, and then yeah.
So he does that to him, and like the back of his neck cut open. So then he turns around, and I think a little homage to Psycho, I'm sure he slices his face,
right?
Much like the private investigator gets slashed in Psycho, but more brutal because you see the split go through the eye,
right?
And the guy's just like, oh shit, and then he falls down, and then he fucking starts just slowly getting stabbed with this big old like fucking Rambo knife.
Yeah,
shit.
It's pretty gruesome.
And that was just a really cool stabbing. Like, it was done really well, and I felt it. I was like, ooh, that would
personal,
fucking
man.
suck.
That up close and personal shit's real.
And then there's the two cops played by Michelle Monaghan and Bobby Cannavale from The Other Guys. He fucking crushes it in The Other Guys. Cut the shit. But he's good. I like those characters too. And they're kind of like, I don't know, they're suspecting that maybe Maxxine is behind the murders because everybody around her is kind of dying. Kind of like, it's very Scream, but she's like Sydney fucking Prescott, you know?
Step ahead all the time.
Yeah. So they're kind of following her around, and then she sees that they killed her best friend, and then all of them are getting this pentagram fucking carved on their faces and shit.
Right.
So that's where the devil comes in. It's like kind of ritualistic fucking devil murder stuff.
Right.
And then Kevin Bacon, they have their little chase, and she goes up to her fucking agent, who's apparently like a fucking mafioso, the most down fucking agent there is. And he's like, okay, Kevin Bacon's fucking with you, fine, let's crush him.
Yeah.
So he like follows her into like this fucking dance, and then it's really good. Kevin Bacon gives a great performance as this fucking sleaze ball.
Super sleaze, man.
Talking shit. And Maxine's never like threatened by anybody. There's a point where it seems like she's gonna get mugged, and then she fucking smashes the guy's balls.
Great scene, bro.
So hurtful.
It is brutal.
And then there's a part where Kevin Bacon's been following her for a while, and she just grabs her keys and puts them between her knuckles, and she just goes up to him and just starts punching him in the car, and like fucking like stabs his face a bunch, and she's just like, you're fucking come like near me again, I'll fucking kill you and shit. And he's like, you just made it personal, girl. You know? And then so like anytime that a threat comes at her, she just like handles it straight on, no fear, you know,
with violence.
Yeah. When she smashes that guy's balls, she's like, you know what I did to the last person that tried to kill me? Like, I fucking smashed her fucking head, and she smashes his balls with a heel.
Yeah. Like
and not in the hot way.
No.
Like burst balls.
Yeah. Not just stepping like for pleasure.
Crushing on concrete.
Yeah.
Or like on asphalt.
Right. Yeah, because the guy, that scene in particular too, like the guy, ultimate creep, right? You see him, gives you a little bit Norman Bates vibe, you know what I mean?
He's like a clown. He's like a mime or something.
Mime clown.
Or like, he looks like a French person with a switchblade. Well, like he has a beret, I think.
You're right. But yeah, he feels so confident, and then
he's gonna prey on this hot girl that's walking down an alley.
Maybe get a blowy, you know.
Yeah,
and
let's get a quick rape in this alley.
At the very worst, a rape, murder. You know. But yeah, the ball crushing scene.
Ball to the ball, or what is it?
Ball to the
Ball to the ball, the bang, the bang.
My name is Kid. They should have played that at that moment, bro. Dude.
Ball, the bang, the bang.
Bro,
I don't even know.
We need to download that right now. But yeah, seeing that happen, great stuff.
So anyway, the fucking agent, this smooth cat, this jazz cat, you know, he's the coolest fucking agent there is. And he's just like, Kevin Bacon's fucking with you, all right, I'll crush him. And takes him to like a junkyard, handcuffs him to the car, and fucking Kevin Bacon's just so good because at first he wakes up, he's like, you fucking bitch, like whatever. He doesn't realize where he's at in the situation that he's in. So he's still being tough and shit, right?
Right.
And he realizes where he is, and then there's the switch from where he goes to being like assertive to being a coward. And he's like, oh, please, like, oh, my. And then he goes out praying.
Right,
he's like saying a prayer, and he just hears like, ah! And then just blood, a bunch of blood comes out of the bottom of the car, and like little like ground meat.
Yeah.
And then the dogs go up and are all eating it.
Little snack. Little bacon for the
for
the pups, you know what I'm saying?
You did it,
you know
Bono.
what I mean?
God damn it.
You're telling me they didn't think about that?
This is why you're my coach.
Come on, man. Come on.
These jokes. That fucking wit.
Yeah,
that's
bro.
why.
There's companies with that shit. You know what I mean? The dog treats. Oh, bacon, Kevin Bacon. Bacon dog treats.
Why isn't Kevin Bacon? Why isn't he on the fucking cover of a plastic bag?
We have a new venture for you there, Kev.
I know, dude. Fuck, I need a cut.
Yeah,
come on,
we need to trademark that right now. His name involved in this shit.
That has to have been done. No,
I'm sure it has.
Kevin Bacon
dog treats. I'm telling you, dude.
Dog treats. No. We need to reach out to his people.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I took from it, man. I was like, that's great marketing.
We need to reach out to
Let's
someone.
find out his agent's email. Send him a...
But anyways, turns out that the person who's been fucking with her and also sent her like the X tape.
Oh, right.
They were making the film in the first one.
Which, in the first one at the end, you see them like put
Take
that
it
into evidence.
Yeah. So this guy got a hold of it. Is fucking with. Sent her the tape. Knows, like, let it be known. Sent Bacon after her, and then, but whatever. Like, she's been in control the whole time. And then I think finally there's some confrontation. It ends up happening under the Hollywood sign. Very fitting.
Right.
And yeah, it turns out to be her dad. They're like going to sacrifice her, but then the cops save her.
Right.
But they die.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny, like, because the guy gets shot in the stomach and it's like all a big tribute also like to Hollywood. I think that's why I started watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood yesterday, dude.
Makes sense.
Because, you know, he's like dying under the Hollywood sign. He's like, man, he's like, I always wanted to, he's like, I've never been up here. And like, I always wanted to come out here and be like a fucking actor. Like, that was my fucking dream. And he just like dies. But it's like really funny because it's like, you know, those characters kind of have no reason to, like, they're like just your stereotypical, like, hey, we think you're behind this. Or like, Maxxine, come over here. Where were you last night? You know?
Right.
And then, like, he, like, says some stupid little stories to her throughout.
Right.
And then he says another dumb story. And then dies.
Right.
And then the other one, the chick comes along and she has a fucking crucifix through her eye.
Yeah.
But she's like, I fucking got him though. Like I fucking told you I would get him.
Right.
And then she can't fucking see. So she tumbles down the fucking Hollywood Hill. So she's probably fucking dead too.
She's dead as fuck.
And then she confronts her dad. And then he's like, whatever, gives her a big speech saying that he failed her or whatever. And she's like, bro, you didn't fucking fail me. He's like, you gave me exactly what I had to fucking get in order to be who I am.
Right.
And then fucking blows his fucking head off.
Well, fitting.
Beautiful. And then it ends with like her becoming this big star because she goes through all that.
Right.
The movie becomes a hit and she gets the fame that she's been looking for. And like, you know, I guess it's a surrogate too for Pearl. That's what Pearl wanted too.
Right.
And, you know,
that's all she wanted to do.
Maxxine achieves it. And she did it all with fucking grit and fucking breaking a law or two and a ball or two,
well,
you know?
Yeah, definitely. 1 or 2.
Yeah. And then as I was watching yesterday, I was kind of like, oh, this end's kind of dragging a little bit. Like it should have ended when she blew that guy's head off.
Right.
And it just kind of keeps going. And I was like, oh, this could have ended like at least a minute or two ago.
Right.
But then like the credits kind of save it for me because it just backs up from, she's in a movie studio and it just backs up and then just keeps backing up more. And you see like the whole lot and everything. Right. And then it goes to like the Hollywood Hills and then you see the Hollywood sign and then it comes and then you see the Maxxine sign and stuff. And it has the fucking 80s music. It has like a classic 80s song. And that was like, I don't know. By the time it ended, seeing the credits and all that, I was like, hell yeah. Like, that's the perfect way to end the shit. At the end of the day, all these 3 movies was like just a big old love letter to fucking horror films, different kinds of horror films.
Right.
And this guy managed to make 3 very different movies with the same people, and they were all super entertaining.
Right. People like them, I think, right? This one got a higher rating, right, than X maybe? No.
I think it got the lowest out of all of them.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, 6.3.
Huh.
Pearl got 7, and then X got 6.5.
I don't
know. I agree. Yeah. I don't know. I think Maxxine is like a more like it's doing a lot more. The tone is really crazy.
Yeah,
well done.
You're in the city. There's some big things at play. I've been, I don't know about you, but whenever I can, if I'm in LA, I actually like going up the Hollywood Hills and tripping out and seeing all that shit, going to the observatory and all that. But I remember one time I went for a studio opening party with the homie Benny, and they had gotten an Airbnb in the Hollywood Hills. Mm-hmm. And we got invited. It wasn't a party or anything. It was just the homies that were staying there. And the sign, bro, was maybe some 40 feet from the fucking house.
Really?
It was really intense. And it pissed me off that my phone died.
Damn.
And we were just there and everything. But I was also like, every square inch of this place probably has had cum on it. But it wasn't.
Your mind just goes straight to cum every time.
There's a hot tub and a pool like leading into
all full of cum.
Pool's worth of cum. But
bubbling.
But yeah, we were there and we smoked like 2 blunts there, and I was just like, man, this is crazy. Like, just like that fucking cop or whatever, like people want to do that or have this vision of doing that shit, right?
Yeah.
And it's not like we were there to stay or anything, but I was like, this is pretty cool. Nah. But I'm pretty sure there's been a shit ton of porns shot here.
Yeah. Well, ever since Once Upon a Time Hollywood came out, and I've watched that movie now like 10 times, I think.
Yeah, I play it whenever I get the chance.
It's just a good old time. It's such a funny movie too. Leonardo DiCaprio literally at his fucking best.
Yeah.
I think so, dude.
Yeah,
hands down. I watched The Wolf of Wall Street the other day. Wolf of Wall Street, I think, is a close second as to like his greatest fucking roles.
Django's great too, bro.
Django's great too.
I was watching this GQ thing with Samuel talking about that character.
What'd he say?
He's great, man. He's like, he was talking about how him and Tarantino went back and forth on the table scene where he's behind Leo, and he's saying how he's like, well, I need you to kind of be like to always be like his right hand, but be overzealous in this part where he was just like, so I tried the whole, you sure would, you would do that, Mr. Kennedy, like saying, like agreeing and doubling everything that he was saying twice over, and, and I added the shake to it, and that Tarantino was just like, hey, like, what the fuck, and he's like, bro, I'm gonna do that shit, like I don't give a fuck. Samuel. And it was good, man. I for his character in that one too is fucking great. But I like Leo's character in that too. He's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
He's not funny. It's not. I mean, it's funny, but it's not Wolf of Wall Street or
his delivery for certain things is definitely really fun. Yeah. His performance is fun.
Yeah.
It's one of the great, like, over the top, like, super evil. Yeah. But still, you like
lovable,
him.
Yeah, despicable, lovable character.
You had my. What does he say? You had my curiosity. So now you have my attention. Did you listen to all that Tarantino?
Not all of it. No, I started.
There's 2 episodes.
There's 2 of those things.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I listened to the whole thing. Like, honestly, it's super cool. We're talking about Tarantino. Obviously, has a Video Archives podcast, and the last 2 episodes are like this somewhat like mini sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because they have 2 episodes dedicated to the fictional death of Rick Dalton that died on this day in 2023.
Right.
And Tarantino and his co-host Paul Avery and Paul Avery. No, is it Paul Avery?
I don't know.
Maybe. And his daughter are talking about this fake career that Rick Dalton had, and they're talking about his movies and in detail and all this fake history. Where in my head I was like, dude, they put a lot of work into. They came up with the plots for like fucking 5 or 6 movies. Tarantino came up with a bunch of fake Hollywood stories about different actors and stuff, and this fake history that Rick Dalton had. And I was just like, damn, that's really cool.
Oh yeah, man.
2 episodes, like 4 hours of fuck, and then he has an interview with him. It would have been so cool if he got Leo to do that interview.
Right.
And watching that, and then watching Hollywood yesterday, I was like, dude, like, hopefully, whatever, he stops making movies. Like, he could do a lot with that Rick Dalton. We could bring back Rick Dalton later in his life. He could make a show about Rick Dalton, and that would be sick. Like, the shit he was doing on that podcast, like, hopefully that inspires him to do, like, a Rick Dalton fucking show or something.
That would be dope.
He also talked about doing Bounty Law, like doing like a few episodes of Bounty Law.
I did like that because they were talking about Bounty Law as if they were like a part of it and shit. That was really cool. Like, it's growing up, I saw the episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, okay.
Well, that's the whole thing, because you're hearing all these guys talk about their reactions to these movies that aren't real,
right?
But you're just like, damn, you're like selling this bit this much, right? Oh, and I really love this part, and that's why I like this one more than the other.
My first piece was on this because
and of course.
We all had to.
And like Tarantino just goes in, well, of course, that was his greatest work. You're just like, damn, dude. Like, hella respect for that
I mean,
shit.
it's vision, dude. These characters, and in particular with him too, like, I feel like, imagine how much shit he has on, like, The Bride. Imagine how much shit he has on all of these fucking characters that you only get, like, the surface of who they are, right? And you're like, whoa, I wonder, or whoa, this, or whoa, that. Like, there was, he was also talking, Samuel was talking about the diner scene where he opens up the case.
Right.
And he's supposed to shoot the girl, and then he was like, I don't know if it was in the script or it was part of it or some shit. And the back and forth that he had with Tarantino there was like, do I do that or not? Or is it shot as or not? And all of that stuff. And you think, like, I guarantee you Tarantino has fucking, every scene has like 2 to 3, 4 fucking different variations, right? Like, you can only imagine how deep this guy's fucking. Yeah. So to do that shit, it's kind of psychotic. It's kind of gross.
Well, he also wrote Did you ever read the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood novel?
Mm-mm.
That's also kind of like a mini sequel because parts of that novel are about like moments that aren't in the movie. Only I think a couple of things from the movie are written in the book, but other than that, it kind of fills in other little gaps. You find out what happens in Leo's show where he's playing the bad guy with,
right.
like, you know, you just kind of get one scene of that, like their confrontation, but you don't know how it ends. Like in the book, you get how it ends and everything. It's really cool. And then, like, it seemed like he was going to make this movie. He already named it. It was going to be called The Critic, the movie critic, or the film critic, or maybe just the critic. And then it started coming out that Cliff Booth was going to be in it, and that it was kind of turning into like a little Cliff Booth movie and kind of a sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And those were just the rumors. Who knows if that was true or not? But then out of nowhere, Tarantino scrapped it and said that he wasn't going to do it anymore and that he's going to rethink what his... Because this is what he's saying is going to be his last movie.
Right.
So then I guess he just decided that was not the right movie to be his last movie. But it's like, well, I still want to see what you had going there. You almost made that shit, dude. Fucking make it.
It came close.
And I was at work listening to that podcast of him coming up with all this crazy story, and I was like, bro, don't stop directing. Like, and I was just thinking about how he's saying he wants to protect his filmography and stuff. It's like, bro, like, you have one of the better filmographies. Like, even if you start making movies, like, his last movie might have been his best fucking movie, dude. Like, they've been strong. Hateful Eight's fucking good. Inglourious Bastards is a fucking masterpiece. Like, do not fucking stop making movies, bro.
Once Upon a Time is fucking masterful.
You're one of the fucking people that's fucking still fucking representing, goddammit. You need to go out there. You need to get a fucking Oscar for best fucking director, goddammit. Don't fucking quit, you son of a bitch.
I mean, I'm sure he'll keep writing. And if this shit really takes off for him, I can definitely see
he was saying that, he wants to write novels. He already wrote another book. And that he might do like television stuff. Right. I mean, I'll take that. You do some like we're saying, do some Bounty Law, do some Rick Dalton show. Like, all right, I'll take that, but still make fucking movies.
What if he goes to Apple, dude?
First of all, Apple is gonna stop doing that at some point. At some point, they're going to be like, okay, we're not making any money and spending hundreds of millions of dollars.
It's okay.
Like, we cannot justify what we're doing. At some point, they're like, as a business, what we are doing is not good.
No, they got it.
If you see the charts every week, they're never on the charts. It's all Netflix, Hulu. People are watching a lot of the same stuff. People watch Moana every fucking week.
Dude, part 2 coming out. What's up? We're going to have to watch that. I don't care what you say.
I've never seen part 1.
What the fuck do you mean? Are you kidding me? Bro, I watched that movie because of the girls. There is no way that you did not watch Moana.
I didn't watch Moana. I'm sorry.
What? Did you even watch Rio? Are you going to tell?
I watched Rio. I love
Rio. Okay. Around the same time there, buddy. Just saying. Not even for Jermaine, huh? Wow.
I love Jermaine.
Wow.
I love Rio.
Wow, dude. Well, part 2's coming out this year, though. Just saying.
We'll see.
No, we will see. You need to watch that.
Maxxine opened number 4 in the box office. Despicable Me was number 1. Inside Out 2 was number 2. Wow. A Quiet Place Day 1 was number 3.
Nice.
Maxxine opened at number 4. Bad Boys Ride or Die was at number 5.
Yup.
Horizon and American Saga at number 6. Kevin Costner, You're a Bastard and I Hate You. The Bike Riders was at number 9. The Fall Guy was at number 10. Good stuff. We got good stuff here.
It was good.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was number 13. Good time. This has been a good year for film, man.
Yeah, there's been some awesome stuff.
Anyways, we should wrap this son of a bitch up.
Yeah,
happy Halloween to all you guys and ghouls.
Yeah.
Girls and
Ghouls.
boils and ghouls. What did the crypt keepers say? I think they said boils and ghouls. Hello, boils and ghouls. Happy Halloween. We love you. Go ahead and follow us on the social medias, Instagram, Facebook. Give us a like on Spotify or Apple or wherever the hell you listen to
your podcasts.
Give us like, subscribe, rate. Make sure you listen to the other shows on the network. We are brought to you by Salad Bites Media each and every episode. Our producer Oz out there producing all these different podcasts. We got the Nakama Boys out there with your anime needs. Mm-hmm. And there's some sports shit. I don't know. Selena's Underground Podcast. Give it all a listen. Tune in next week where we will cover the classic Gone with the Wind.
Oh.
Finally. We've been doing a lot of prep.
You've been saying you wanted to do that one.
Oh, yeah. Do I want to watch a fucking 4-hour movie about the wind? Yes.
Yeah. The answer is always yes.
I love The Happening. That's probably my favorite wind movie.
Back to Shammy. And you know what? I'm glad you said that, dude.
Hey.
Because I'm so glad and happy to hear you say that. But yeah, we will cover that in the next.
Gone with the Wind, the classic tale. Everybody loves it. We got a deep analysis. We're really going to dig into it. Everything you need to know about Casablanca, we're going to give it to you.
And Gone.
And that's a promise. We don't break promises here at the Movie Power Hour. We finish what we start.
Right.
We're going to finish our 2024 review. I mean, 2023 review.
Yeah.
Probably by the end of 2024.
Yeah.
Hold on to your butts because the Saw series, Saw 4, 5, and 6, next episode.
Yeah.
I know we started that series and you guys have been waiting for the next part. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
2026. It's coming.
Yeah. We're saying that now.
We got to cover Casablanca first. It's going to take
Gone with the Wind second.
Oh, right.
Here we go.
Gone with the Wind. I've done so much research. I've dedicated my life. I've been going to the library. So a real detailed episode on Casablanca next week.
Coming up.
Fucking promise. I swear. All right. That's it for us.
We'll catch you at the next one.
Sayonara, Sammy.
Electro and Bono Movie Power